All right, so thank you all again for being here for our MineTracker 101, going over event requests and event management. All right, so to introduce our team here at the SCLC, we have Mallory, who is the Assistant Director for Student Organization Services for Training in Sorority Life and the Terry Scholar Program. We have Tavares Peterson, who is the Coordinator for Student Organization Services, and then my coworker Adriana and myself, Joanna, who are Student Organization Service interns. So something cool about our office is we have virtual office hours, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at various times. It's going to be the same Zoom link and the password is RSO. If you can't meet any of those times, just go ahead and email us at any time and we can always meet with you if you have any questions or concerns. All right, so go ahead and get started. So this presentation, we're going to talk about event requests, obviously. So first we'll go into why you should create a virtual event, how to create a virtual event, who can RSVP to your event, how to limit the number of available RSVP spots, why use the event rating, how to view responses, what to do after submitting, and then ideas for virtual events. All right, so go ahead and get started. Why should you create a virtual event? So first off, it keeps your organization engaged with each other, keeps your members able to chat with one another. Like we were all saying, our days have kind of been boring. Kind of sucks being alone here in your own room, with the same people in your household. So it's nice once in a while to get to chat with other members and other people in your organization and just get your members out of their comfort zone a little bit and just to kind of get that social aspect again. It also gets your organization's name out onto MineTracker because when you submit an event, you can have it to go public or to have it for other students and members of MineTracker, members of UTEP to see on MineTracker. So it gets your organization's name out there and kind of advertises for your organization a little bit. And it allows for members to feel like they're interacting with people in real time, unlike just being here at home, watching videos of your professors talking about your subject. All right, so I guess we'll start off with a question. Have any of you hosted any virtual events yet? If so, how did it turn out? Do you plan on creating any events during the spring semester? And if you're not in an organization, have you attended any events outside of it, I guess? So you can go ahead and put it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. I'll be watching both. Adriana, no, this is my first event. I've just been curious. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that we could be your first one. Hopefully you have fun. Claudia says we've hosted a few events like socials, but didn't personally make those events. Awesome. Well, you were a part of it, so that's awesome. Well, hopefully you guys can create some more during the spring semester and moving on. Adriana, you can hopefully attend more events, and Sally, maybe you can personally make those events next time. So that's awesome, guys. Thanks for answering. All right, so we'll go into how to create a virtual event now. All right, so this is more for organization like officers, I guess. So when you become an officer, you're going to get management access. So meaning that you have access to change everything on your organization's page. So when you go to your organization's page, you're going to log on here and click the button that says Manage Organization. This is where you're going to click on the left-hand side. There's going to be 3 little horizontal lines, and you can click that, and it'll bring down a draw tool where you can click Events. So here, this is where you're going to be able to create your own event. So you'll click the Create Event button, and this is where you're going to have all of your previous events that your organization has ever created. This is where you can have it here. So once you create an event, it'll take you to like the whole block where you can add the title, and you can just answer all the like all the questions about it, like the description, what theme it is, all that good stuff. It'll ask you for an online location, like if you're wanting to do it on Zoom, on Teams, on Twitch, on Discord, on Netflix Watch Party, whatever it is, you can add this link here so your organization members can see it, or anybody in the public. Like I'm sure some of you were going on to MineTracker, clicked on this event, and you clicked on the link and it took you directly here. So that's what you're basically doing for your organization members and the students of UTEP. So then you'll be able to click the event categories. There's all sorts of event categories that you can choose from that you as a student can look up on MineTracker as well. If you're interested in any of them, you'll be able to click this, but specifically for virtual, if it's a virtual event, make sure to click virtual event. So once a student looks it up, your event will come up under virtual. All right, so RSVP, this is basically what you did for our program. We asked you to RSVP. If not, that's okay too. But RSVP, you'll make it to the option for your students or the population to RSVP to your event, and you'll be able to ask questions about their attendance. So like if they're going to be representing an organization and just have RSVP questions, for instance, like when we were in person, we would have, if there was like food available at this event, we'd be like, do you have any food allergies? Just in case we don't want to give them tomatoes if they're allergic to tomatoes or something like that, just so we're aware of how many people are coming to our event before it starts. And also if you're not interested in the RSVP thing and it's just like you don't really need it for your event, you can just dismiss it as well. All right, so who can RSVP? So the setting is automatically set to anyone just by default, meaning that obviously anyone is able to find the event through your event visibility settings and they'll be able to RSVP. But you can choose to limit like the event publicity to have it visible or not, and to only allow RSVPs from those who you invite. So there's like a specific thing where you can invite it. We'll go into that a little bit later. But yeah, you can be like picky, I guess, who you want to go to your event. As like I said earlier, you can disable it completely if you don't want that feature. All right, so limiting number of available RSVP spots. So for instance, like as we were in person, if you were in the union or something and you could only have 25 people, for instance, you would only limit it to 25. So you can select this option if that's important to you. And then if you're interested, there's like a website that you can go to that gives you all the information on how to do that. All right, so event ratings. So this is basically like if you were to go to a restaurant and you would go onto Yelp or something and be like, oh, this was like 4 out of 5 stars. This is kind of what it's like. You're basically doing that for your event, and it looks good to students who are looking at your event being like, oh, last semester they got a 5 out of 5 star ratings. Like, I'm sure it's a fun event. So this is awesome and kind of gets your name out there as well. So I would recommend this. I would recommend to enable it. We haven't had a lot of people enable it, but it would be awesome if we could continue to have that going on. So you have that option to create it or enable it. If that's not anything you could do, you can just not mess with it, but I recommend doing it. And when you do it, the attendees will receive an email. Like if you enable it, they'll receive an email to rate it out of 5 stars, and they have an option to leave a comment if they would like. But I guess it's awesome to let them know that the responses are anonymous. So if they gave you like a 0 out of 5, it was horrible, no one would know who it was. So yeah, I recommend it if you're interested. And there's another website if you're interested in going to that as well. All right, so how to view the responses of somebody who who left an event rating. So when you log into MineTracker, you're going to navigate to the Manage View and open your organization again, and then click the events just like you did before. And then you're going to scroll down to the event ratings section. And this is going to show you basically a preview of all the results so far that people have commented and left, assuming that at least one person has done it. You won't see it if no one has done it. But you'll be able to see the average score out of 5, and it's displayed on the page along with a breakdown of how many users gave each possible score to the event. And if you're interested or your advisor's wondering, or I don't know, somebody was asking like, oh, what was your event ratings? You'll be able to export it as like an Excel sheet and be able to see all the ratings along with the comments left by it. But again, no identifying information will be seen. It's all anonymous. All right, so now we're continuing on the event form. The next step is going to place an event cover photo. And we highly, highly, highly recommend this because what the first thing people see are your photos. Like when you're scrolling, that's the biggest part of the events. So we highly recommend putting a graphic or a picture of your organization or something that just draws the attention of people. But make sure it like fits in the guidelines. There's like instructions on like how much pixels and whatever dimensions are on the photo. So just pay attention to that and make it look pretty, of course, so it draws people's attentions. But once you fill out the information, upload your image, you're basically done. So you just click submit. So once you finish all of the form for the events, after submitting it, it's going to go to our team, the SOS team, and it's going to go into our events, and we're going to have to look at them and approve them or deny them. So this, we're basically just looking at if you have all the information. If we were in person, we'd have to look if there was availability at the spot you're trying to do it. In person, we're just trying to, or virtually, we're just trying to see that you have the correct link. If it's just looks good, basically, if you have everything completed, usually we approve it, but give us up to at least 3 business days. And once you are either approved or denied, the person who submitted the request will receive an email notification about it off to your email coming from MineTracker, saying that our team had commented and if it was approved or denied. All right, so now some ideas for virtual events. I'm sure some of you your organizations have already created events throughout this year of COVID now. It's crazy. But here's some ideas if you guys haven't or you're interested. Maybe if you're a student and you're not part of an organization, but you're interested in looking for some. I'm sure lots of organizations are having these types of events. So some events are like Zoom meetings, Microsoft meetings, Blackboard Collaborate meetings, Netflix watch parties. I've heard those are really fun. Virtual workout sessions, virtual arts and crafts following like YouTube videos, online cooking tutorials, or virtual game nights like Pictionary, charades, heads up, or a scavenger hunt around the house. All of these are good ideas, and I would like to hear if your organization has done others. That would be really cool. I'm always up for ideas and learning more. But I guess to finish this off, I have a question for you all. What virtual events have you found are the most fun for your members and like engaging and that you're wanting to see more of in your organization, I guess? You all can put it in the chat. Or what would be fun for you? What would an event that you would like to see happen? Some kind of game night worked well. Very cool. Same here. I know Among Us was like a big thing, and like a lot of organizations were having Among Us tournaments and all that. So that would be cool. Awesome. Well, thanks for answering, guys. All right, so that's basically it for our presentation, but some upcoming MineTracker 101 sessions that we're going to be having. Our next one is going to be on the 10th of March. It'll be over roster organization and management. And then we'll have one on tracking attendance, managing service hours, and elections. So communicate with your officers, let them know that we're going to be teaching them about organization skills and MineTracker skills. And all of those are on MineTracker, so you can RSVP and find the link there. And then another thing that our SOS office does is SOAP, which is Student Organization Advancement Program. This is basically for organization members to just advance within leadership skills and just learn more about how to organize and lead an organization. So we'll be having 5 more of those events. The next one will be on March 24th, talking about effective tips for student organization leadership. And I think we actually have one coming on Thursday. Travaris, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think we have one on Thursday, and it's actually going to be talking about events as well. So if you're interested, you can.
Yep. So on Thursday, it'll be any programming and event ideas for SOAP. So if you all have that opportunity, the time for that one, I'm sorry, I just had it pulled up. Give me 1 second. Time for that one will be at noon, and it'll be 30-minute session, just like how this one is for MineTracker.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So that's it for our presentation, but we do have a quick assessment that I would ask all of you to take. It takes like 2 minutes. Tavares will put it in the chat. And I really appreciate if you could just give us your quick response to those questions. But other than that, does anyone have any questions for us?